What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good. How about you?
Everything well, thank God.
You guys just obviously finished camp here. What was kind of the big takeaway from you from this time together down here in Costa Mesa?
I think throughout this time at Costa Mesa, we've done a great job being able to really build in and have that brotherhood and have that connection, because at the end of the day, you have a bunch of new pieces and this new offense and this new defense. So being able to come out each and every single day and get 1% better is what I think brought us today, where you guys see all the energy and you guys flying around and just that competitive nature that builds us to become where we want to go.
Speaking of brotherhood, we were talking to Coach Foster about the brotherhood meetings you guys have had.
Yeah.
Was there one story that kind of stuck with you the most or meant something to you that you'll kind of take away from that experience?
I think Coach Kwan's story about finishing, his whole word or whatnot, was finish. And at the end of the day, as an offensive lineman, you have to be able to finish. And honestly, across the whole board, as a unit, you need to be able to know that nobody cares if you're tired, nobody cares if you're hurt, nobody cares if you have an injury that's pushable, like you can keep going. Therefore, you have to have a mentality each and every single day that you know that there's going to be somebody that lies across from you that wants your position, that wants to take the food off your family's plate to be able to go and provide for theirs. So I think just having that mentality of being able to finish, come out each day, whether it be recovery, whether it be in the classroom, off the classroom, on the field, like all of these things build up in order to have that finish mentality.
Talk about Coach Kwan. What was his message to you that made you want to come to UCLA?
Coach Kwan was actually hired after I had already committed.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So.
But what did bring you to UCLA? What was?
When I came up here on my visit, Coach Foss and as well as all of the other coaching staff that was still on site, the energy as well as the brotherhood and the culture that I saw amongst the guys in the locker room, like, it's something I've never seen before. It was just the unitedness of having everybody, whether it be DBs and wide receivers or D linemen and O linemen, all mixing with each other. That was something pretty cool that you don't find that everywhere.
And speaking of Coach Kwan, is there one thing that he does, or one or two things that he does that stands out that's a little different than some of your other previous offensive line coaches?
I wouldn't say necessarily anything's different. I think Coach Kwan does a great job of being able to be not necessarily hard on his players, but want to motivate them to the point where you have to have an intrinsic something inside that's like, you know what, I'm tired of messing up on my X, Y, and Z block. I need to go and get it fixed, whether I go and stay after practice or whether I go and meet with him after. So just him being able to stay on top of you, no matter you're doing good, bad, ones, twos, or threes. Like the guys we have, like Garrison Blank as well as Nehemiah Johnson, he's on those guys, but it's because of the expectation that he sees out of them. He sees and holds them to such a high standard that he wants them to be great. So he could sit there each and every single day with the freshmen and be like, all right, guys, yeah, this is good job, next rep. But no, at the end of the day, he's sitting here and truly going all in for his players. So, yeah.
How have you taken on a leadership role? I mean, this is now your second session of practices after spring since coming in.
Yes,
how have you taken on a leadership role in this offensive line group?
I think just being able to get alongside Garrett DiGiorgio, Sam Yoon, all the other guys that have been here before me and build that brotherhood. I mean, off the football field, we're always with each other, whether it's hanging out at the facility, going to get an extra lift in, going to Venice Beach, Santa Monica. So I think just that genuine brotherhood. We talk about culture, we talk about UCLA, that is a real thing. So just being able to come in and be welcomed with open arms by these guys was just amazing, and it was a blessing for me.
What's your comfort level now in the offense, now having gone through spring and now in 2 weeks into fall camp?
I wouldn't say my comfort level is anywhere. At the end of the day, each and every single day, I got to get better so that I can continue to keep a stride and go ahead and build off each and every single day so that I can get to the end goal, which is the professionals or wherever it may be. At the end of the day, I don't believe in being okay, I had a good day or whatnot. Like, no, I want to sit here and maximize each and every single opportunity I have.
I think we've seen you almost exclusively at guard. Is that something you were mainly playing at Florida State too, or is that something that was a switch for you?
It was a switch. I initially started off at tackle for the first year, then I got moved into the interior, but over here I have been repping ones and twos with the guard as well as at tackle. So being whether it be right or left tackle, it just depends on the depth we have or whatever the situation may be if we need one guy because somebody goes down, and yeah.
How's it been going with Fontu, playing center a little bit more? Coach Foster mentioned, something he'd been doing since the end of spring, really.
Right.
How have you maybe seen him grow into that role?
I think he's done a great job of embracing it. At the end of the day, center is one of the hardest positions. You're the CEO of the offense. You have to sit there, command, give out ID points, tell the whole offensive line as well as tight ends and running backs, okay, this is the protection, X, Y, and Z. So to be able to sit there and have that pressure, I think Funso does a great job of embracing it and being like, you know what, all right, I'm the CEO. I'm going to make sure everybody is in their position, their spot where they need to be. At the end of the day, the CEO of the offensive line is the center. So I think him, Sam, all the other centers, Caleb, they've been doing great jobs of embracing that position.
I know cohesion is so important with that group. You got to work as one. How do you see that building so far through fall camp with kind of the ones that we've seen of late?
I think it's been a great job. At the end of the day, like, there's always things you can improve on. There's always the small details, whether it be dropping your inside foot or being too early with your punch or whatever. The offensive line is just such a detail-specific position that it can take you one little small thing that you might fix one day, have it good 2-3 days, but then you forget about it the next day after. So it's all just about locking in on the details, and I think this whole unit from 1s, 2s, and 3s has done a great job of being able to come out each day, no, look, we're going to work, we're going to practice, we're going to meet, so embrace it. Go ahead and give it your all so that you can get something out of it at the end.
Nico being a guy that came in after spring camp, how have you kind of seen him develop with the offensive line, build that relationship with him?
I think he's done a great job of being able to come up to us each day. He always gives us motivation, whether it be, all right, come on, guys, we got to move the ball here. Whether we be in a 2-minute situation or 4-minute, he'll come up to us and be like, hey, look, we need protection here, we need X, Y, and Z. But since he's came here, I mean, he just had his head down, he kept his nose down, and he worked. At the end of the day, you see his work throughout the progress of the whole camp, as well as each day. Whenever he comes out here, you see the leader. Whenever he steps out on the field, he commands a presence. So being the quarterback position, you kind of do have to have that swagger, but he's also such a humble guy that each and every single day, like at the beginning of practice, tell you, all right, guys, let's have a day. Let's really go ahead and lock in so that we can get the most out of this. So just being a quarterback that is vocal as well as speaking to the whole team, I think is a good thing to have.
Where have you seen the offense from the start of camp to now? Like, how have you seen it develop, and where do you think it's at in terms of getting ready for the season?
I think we're taking strides each and every single day, but at the end of the day, we're nowhere near where we need to be yet. I think each and every single day is just about building, and from the first day to now, I mean, it's a complete 9-day difference, but at the end of the day, we're not satisfied. We're going to keep pushing until we can get to perfect, knowing we might not get it, but at the end of the day, we're going to get pretty darn close, and that'll be a good result or a good outcome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Y'all have a good rest of your
Thank
day.
you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Long time no see.
Yeah. So you're sporting a little bit of a different look here. What prompted
The hair?
Yeah.
Just a fresh start. I got it right after New Year's.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what, let's just do it for the new year. I got sick of it. It was a lot of maintenance, so I was ready for a new start. Chopped it off.
Coach Foch said he didn't recognize you the first time he saw you.
Yeah, it's a funny story. So I got it over New Year's break. Come back to the facility. We have a team dinner, team meeting on Sunday, and I was in the weight room getting a little lift in, and he was walking through, and he stopped, and he kind of looked at me, and I was just lifting. He goes over to one of the coaches. He's like, "Who is that?" And he told me this after, and he comes up. He's like, "Huddy," and I was like, "What up?" He's like, "I didn't even recognize you. I thought you were an alum." I was like, "I guess the hair does a lot." So it was a funny story.
So a little bit sleeker. Feel
Oh
good
yeah,
under the helmet?
it's aerodynamic,
Yeah.
so feeling a lot faster.
How faster? How much faster?
Oh, a lot faster. You got a little jump start on everything, but no, it's a lot less maintenance, like I said, and it's easy to do in the morning. I mean, that long hair got ridiculous, but it was a phase.
Coach was saying, he's thrilled you're back this year. Obviously, not in the circumstances anybody wanted, but
Yeah.
in a way to come back and maybe be the featured tight end this year. How excited are you about this role and the potential that you could have with this offense?
Yeah. Well, one, this offense is explosive. I mean, we have so many playmakers. Obviously, Nico at quarterback. He's one of the most impressive players I've ever been around. So it's exciting, just not only for me but everyone. And the way Coach Sincere uses all the tight ends, the receivers, running backs, it's going to be a special offense this year. So I'm just excited, one, to be back. It's been a long time missing this field and the team. So I'm just excited to be back out here with all the guys.
Have you given much thought to what that first game back is going to be like?
When we were at the spring showcase at the Rose Bowl, I kind of soaked it in, realizing I'm finally going to be able to run out there for Utah. And because it was a long season being away from the team, on the sideline, not suiting up. It was a lot of mental battles, obstacles I had to go, obviously physical too, but I'm just really excited. I know it's going to be an emotional day, but I think it's going to be emotional in a positive way. So.
And I think, when I think back to when we talked to, I think it was Jack back in the spring, we talked about how, guys were, doing whatever they could to pitch in, give you a ride wherever you needed, that sort of thing. What was it like just having that support from your teammates?
It was amazing. Not only just the teammates, but the coaches too. So that tight end room last year, each one of them took care of me. I wasn't able to put any weight on my leg for about 2 months. So you can only imagine what the things I had to go through. John, he's my roommate right now, back in Westwood. And Michael Churich, he was my roommate during that time too. So he was just, I couldn't carry anything in my room. I had crutches. So just the small stuff. You take walking for granted. And I never thought I'd go through that. And I remember I saw you guys. I saw you at the NCAA game.
Yeah.
And that was the first day I was off crutches.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so I felt like a new man. And but no, that Coach Neuheisel, Coach Foss. They offered rides if I needed to go to rehab. They did everything. It was honestly a cool experience to kind of step back and be like, wow, these are true friends of mine, true people in my life that want to take care of me. Because I don't think I would have been able to do all the things I could during that time without them. So it was amazing.
Can you tell us about we've talked a lot about the brotherhood meetings. Was there something that stood out to you that somebody said that really kind of touched you or made you think something?
So the coolest thing about those is we got to hear from all the coaches. And I've heard stories, and I thought I know some of these coaches, but I've heard stories I never thought I'd really heard about or knew about before I met them. So it was really cool getting to know them on a deeper level, just being a coach. The defensive coaches, some of them I haven't talked to, so I got a chance to not only hear their story, but the tight ends got to break out with them. And I think one thing I really liked, Coach Sinceri said, he's like, don't stop thinking about what other people think about you and just think about you yourself. So it was a cool, because you don't want to let others' input affect you, because at the end of the day, all we have is each other. So the motto this year, it's we over me. So it's a team collective, and football is the greatest team sport. So you really got to have that, each other's back, my brother's keeper. So it was cool to hear everyone's stories.
Coming off kind of that breakout year before your injury, how difficult was that rehab process, knowing it's going to be a while before you can get back out there?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because so when I got hurt, it was one of the most painful things, but immediately, right when I was on the ground, I immediately thought, like, am I going to be able to play again? And I remember when I was on the ground, Coach Foss ran over me, he was standing over me, and I remember asking him, I was like, I didn't really ask him, I was yelling at him, I was like, I just want to play. And immediately that day, got the MRI, the results, ACL tear, meniscus tear, and I go on my phone, start Googling, like, what's the rehab process, how long does it take? And that span is from 8 to 10 months. So I was like, okay, I could get through this. But to be honest, through that battle, I've had a lot of things pop up that I never would have imagined. And I was talking to UCLA alum Josh Woods. He's been through a lot of knee injuries. He was a really big mentor of mine during this process. And he said, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And I said, I just don't know what else I can learn through this process. At the time, I was kind of, okay, maybe we'll see. And I really learned how much I love this game when it's taken away from me. And like I said, being gone for 15 months, not being able to practice that long, do anything that long, it really made me step back and think, how bad do I really want it? So the rehab process was difficult, but I knew the harder I pushed myself during that process, the better outcome I would get in the end. So I had a battle, a second cleanup surgery. I had a bunch of things pop up, and it was nothing easy at all. But I did learn a lot about myself and a lot about my team, because every day they would ask me how I was doing, reach out if I need anything, let them know. So I can only thank them enough for that. And it's been pretty amazing to kind of see the support I got.
Coach Foster, when you got injured, I remember he was choked up, like was struggling to step aside and then come back to the podium to talk to the media. Can you kind of talk about the support from the coaching staff and what you felt from them?
Yeah, I've been here extremely long, and I've seen a lot of things. And the cool thing about being here this long is, one, I've met a lot of people, but I've been here to see Coach Foss grow, Coach Neuheisel grow, just like they've seen me grow. So it's been a cool mutualistic relationship. where we get to kind of lean on each other. And during that time, Coach Foss and I have had these conversations because he's had injuries throughout his college and NFL career. And he told me, he's like, you just got to come back stronger. But seeing how hurt he was for me, it meant a lot. And I know there's a lot of unknowns in this game. But for him to come up, text me, call me, make sure I'm doing good. I mean, it just means the world to have a head coach that looks out for their players like that. So I can only thank him so much. It's just amazing to be around this type of culture.
Was it any kind of chore to get the year back from the NCAA?
I thought it would be, but it wasn't, because the timing of my injury, since I got hurt in spring,
Right.
they knew I was going to be out the whole season, versus if you play 4 or 5 games, they're like, ooh, you're onto this baseline. So, I mean, when I immediately got hurt, I didn't know,
Right.
but I talked to compliance. Coach Neuheisel was like, dude, you're fine. And then Coach Foss was like, hey, the good thing is I got you for another year. And so I was like, man, this is a whole nother year. I mean, I would have called you crazy if you thought if you told me I was going to be here this long. But I think there's a silver lining to all this, and I've learned so much, and I've gotten to know so many people, and being at a prestigious university like UCLA, it's an amazing experience. And so why not enjoy it while you're here? So it's a long process, but look where I'm at now, and I'm excited to be here.
What degree are you on right now?
What's that?
What degree are you on right now?
So I just finished my second master's, so 3rd degree. So I did the Shea Pitts route, CG Chase Griffin route too. So I got my master's in legal studies through the law school. So immediately, right when I got hurt, I was like, okay, I got to start thinking I'm going to be around for another year and a half. I don't want to just sit around, take classes I'm not really interested in. So why not start another degree? So I went through the interview process for that program, and got in right in the deadline. And I was like, sweet, let's do it. So the cool thing about, well, I shouldn't say cool thing, the I don't know how to say this, me being hurt gave me more time to focus on school. So Coach Foss was like, listen, you're a student athlete, academics come first. If you need to go to class, and my schedule was there. That's Key and Gary. Key's my roommate here at Costa Mesa. So I got lucky being with the comedian of the team, and he's good about going to sleep early. So back to what I was saying. He made sure academics come first. So he said, hey, listen, if you got to miss a meeting, go take care of school, finish that. So I graduated in May, and now I'm starting an extension program in project management. And I'll do that for this fall quarter, and then I could finally say I'm done with school. It's a long process.
You got the doctorate coming up next.
If you would have told me I was gonna be here this long, I would have started the doctorate right away. You can call me Dr. Habermehl.
I love it.
Thanks, Hudson.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. It was great seeing you.